Hi everybody. Just it's telling me that it's letting you know. It's going to be an interesting one tonight. I have a little person in the background, so this could be fun. Sit down, Teddy. Sit down. His teeth are bothering him, so yeah. Let's see how this goes. I've got Raya and the Last Dragon playing. My husband's out, so... What do you want? You want that one? Okay, good. So let's see how we go. I'll just give it a minute for a couple of people to get on. I'll fire up the projector while we wait. Sit down, please. Sit. If at any point you have questions, please just pop them in the chat box. I will answer what I can. I am coming off the back of COVID, so I feel fine, but every now and then, like, I cough a lot. So if I'm coughing up a lung, I've got cups of tea and water here as well. So hopefully I don't get too crazy. So I'm going to try and sew 2 pairs tonight as well. So I'm going to do the footed version and the unfooted version. I thought what I might do is I might do one version entirely on the overlocker and one version entirely on my sewing machine, because I know a few people don't have sewing overlockers, and it can be a little bit scary to sew knits with a sewing machine. Whilst yes, it is a lot easier to sew with an overlocker, it can be done on a sewing machine. So I'll do the unfooted version completely on the sewing machine, and you can see what it's like. So I'll load it up. That's not it. No, that's not it either. Alright, so we've got our pattern. Hopefully you guys will have your pattern as well. I've loaded up the projector version. But like I said, it's the same whether you're using a projector or paper pattern pieces. Let's make sure mine's all aligned. Now I'm going to be doing... I'm going to cut out the... I'm going to do a size... small baby, because my friend's just had a baby, so I'll make her a cute little pair. And I believe, let me just check, so the dashed line is the yoga waistband and the solid line is the elastic. So I'm going to be doing the elastic waistband on the unfooted and the yoga waistband on the footed. So, yes, we're going to do that. All right, so I'm going to start. Tilly, you need to sit down, mate. Sorry, guys, hang on. All right. You going to make me a cup of tea? Can I go have a cup of tea? Make mummy tea? Good boy. Yeah, you make me a cup of tea at the kitchen. Good boy. Fun. Alright, so I've got this super cute Australian koala fabric. Excuse me. It is a lighter weight. I think this might be like a 180 GSM, so it is quite thin. But that doesn't really matter. It's still got enough stretch. I think I read in the pattern that it was... you needed at least 50% stretch for this one. So there is a chart in the instructions, but basically an easy way to check is you get a ruler and you grab a 10 centimeter, like without stretching it, you get a 10 centimeter piece in your hands. So this is without stretching it, and then again I put it at the 0 and I see how far it stretches. So this stretches to 17 centimeters, so it has a 70% stretch horizontally. Perfect. Just a quick way for anyone who's ever been really confused about how that works. Okay, so I need to cut one off the front. Again, if you've seen my sewing before, I have a sheet of galvanized iron under my cutting mat, and then I've just got magnets from Bunnings, so that helps keep it all nice and taut. And then I use a rotary cutter because it's a billion times quicker. So these ones are the fronts, which is cut one on the fold, or if you've got the unfolded pieces, just cut one. Again, on the unfooted ones, I'm going all the way to the top because I'm going to do an elastic waistband. And I'm just going to write in Taylor's chalk an F so that I know they're my fronts. Alright, now let's get the backs. Back. Alright, and I'll put my magnets down again. It stays pretty flat, but you know, just so we know for sure. Cut out, oh, it's a bit wonky. Our backs. Alright, 2 pieces. That is our unfooted version. Done. That's all you need. You do also need a piece of elastic, which I did pre-cut. I think for the size I'm making it was about 13.5 inches, so I've got that ready to go, but I'll leave that there for now. Excuse me. So now I can put this one aside, just trim off my extra bits, because otherwise I'll put it away and I'll get confused. Oops. Alright, bin, and this I'll fold up later. Now I'm going to cut out the footed version. I'm actually going to do a different size for that. I think I'm going to do a size 1 if I have enough, which I think I will. So I'm using for the footed version a rib knit, which you can see here has those beautiful ribs. Oh, my projector doesn't like when I cover the light. So it's got the beautiful ribs. I think it's called like 4 up, 2 down or something. This is the rib knit that's coming to So Unique tomorrow night, so I'm wearing it at the moment as well. It's a little bit heavier than the normal. A lot of the other brands will stock like a 210 GSM, and this is a 230. It is just a little bit heavier, which is quite nice for winter. Like I've worn this all day and it's been really nice, and I'm actually getting quite hot now, so I might even take it off. But anyway, so yeah, there's 9 colours going live tomorrow night, but it's so nice to sew with. Alright, so we'll cut out our back pieces, or our footed pieces. So this is the back, and now I'm going to be cutting to the dotted line, because that is for the yoga waistband. I'm going to do a yoga waistband on these ones. So we'll lay that down. Perfect. Alright, cut that out. If anyone has any questions, again, just pop them in the chat comments. I'll see them as they come through. Alright. So this was our back, so I'm just going to write a B on it just so I know. B. Get my front pieces. Alright. Okay, cut our fronts out. I like lounging for tights because it's just so soft and beautiful on the skin. So especially for baby stuff, like it's just so nice for them. I'm coming into winter, you know, especially Melbourne. It's a bit cold. Alright, that's our fronts. I don't need to mark this because I marked the back. Now I just need to I'll cut out the waistband. So I think it's I'll do the folded waistband. Excuse me. So let's hope that I have enough. I might need to get a different piece out to do the waistband. Or we do it this way. You know what, we're just going to do it this way because it's still got enough stretch. So I'm cutting against the grain now, which isn't always advisable, but it'll be fine. When something has good four-way stretch, you can do it. I mean, obviously my stripes are going to be going a different way on the waistband now, but I don't mind. And now I just need to cut out the foot pieces. So we'll cut 2 of these. One. Get this one over here. Mirrored pieces, so make sure you mirror them. Done. Alright. So that's all our pieces. I don't think I'm really going to get anything out of that. So that can all go in there. Okay. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Erin. She said, who would have thought watching someone cut fabric would be so exciting? I'm glad you're all enjoying it. I enjoy cutting fabric. So we've got our 2 foot pieces. Our... what's this one? This must be the fronts. Yeah, because that's got my B, the backs, and the yoga waistband for our footed version. And then for the straight leg version, we've got our front and our back and our piece of elastic. So now I can turn off my projector. And for anyone that's not convinced on a projector yet, why? They're so good. I mean, you saw how quickly I did that. So now I'm going to leave this over here. Sit down, please, Ted. It's bedtime? No? Okay. That's a shame. I've had to recently move my setup around a little bit, so now I have to set my iron up each time, which is kind of annoying, but ideal. Alright. This one, turn my iron on, ready to go. I'll bring you all down here. I might do the non-footed first. So I'll pop you over here. Teddy, please stop. Sure, Mum. Alright, so I have a old Benina sewing machine. It is incredibly basic. I have that many stitches. That's it. And you know what? I love it. I do have another machine as well, a Janome, which is a bit more fancy. But to be honest, I actually love this machine so much. It's just so easy to use. I do need to get my other one serviced, which is why I'm not using it, because it's sad at the moment, but I will get it finished eventually. Alright, so I'm just looking at the instructions. So the first instruction is to lay your pattern pieces Might push this back a little bit. Oh. The globe has blown in it, which is why I've got to have this one. Lay your pattern pieces right sides together. And then we're going to clip down the sides. I prefer to use clips when using knit fabrics because it doesn't mark the fabric, whereas pins will often pierce the fabric and I just don't like it, so I tend to use clips. Now, because we're using the sewing machine, you will need to use either a stretch stitch. Some machines have a specific stretch stitch. It could be the lightning stitch, or I'll be using just a straight zigzag. So the zigzag helps it to be able to stretch still. If you use just a straight stitch, the seams will pop because it doesn't give the knit fabric enough stretch. Like as you know, like knit fabric is stretchy. So if you use just a straight stitch, it'll pop, the seams will pop. So you need to be using either a lightning stitch, or I think some machines have like an overcast stitch, or for me, I just use a straight zigzag. So I'll change my machine to a zigzag. 3, go about a 3. Bring it forward. Whoop. There we go. And all we're going to do is sew down each side. Once you've got them together, it's easy to tell which is the front and the back as well, because the front dips, and this is because your bum has, booty. It sticks out, so there has to be more fabric at the back to accommodate for that. Now my machine, I just need to rethread it. Because I have an old one, it also means I don't have an automatic needle threader, but you get spoilt with new things. I just got a new cover stitch and it has automatic needle threading, and it is thebomb.com. It's a baby lock euphoria and I love it. Okay, so we'll start at the top. Just give yourself a bit of a back tack, and then we're just going to sew straight down the edge. Sometimes it can help if you have a normal machine to get a walking foot. The walking foot just has feed dogs on top as well, so the feed dogs on the bottom and the feed dogs on top are working together to grip the fabric as it goes through. Again, I'll give it a bit of a thing. All right, so that's our first seam, and as you can see, when you stretch, the zigzag stitch helps you stretch with it. Side 2. Time for bed, Ted? No, still not. You gonna make Mummy a cup of tea? You make me a cup of tea? Yeah. So go here. So because I don't have a walking foot, my fabric is slipping around a little bit. But it's not too bad. Get off the table. Off. Honestly, children. Okay, so the next thing they want us to do, and see with sewing on a machine, it can give sort of more bumps, I guess, on the outside. So a serger is a nicer finish, but really it's not the be all and end all. Okay, so in the instructions, they want us to fold it up, fold the hem up, so you've got wrong sides together, and stitch it along there. So I'm just going to give this a quick press on my iron, which is next to me. That's that one. It's a good idea to do these things before you sew them together as well, because especially on the smaller sizes, which this is, you know, a size prem, it can be hard to do it after. So I've just sewn that, pressed that. So now I will stitch my hem down. Again, just back tack a little bit. Alright, so that's side one. Beauty. And we'll do the other side. Alright. I have a stretch needle in my machine as well to help, but you can use universal. And I will say, if you're ever having trouble with your machine, whether it's your overlocker, your sewing machine, whatever it is, try changing the needles. Really, you should be changing your needles every 8 to 10 hours of use. So if you haven't done that recently, do it. Change your needles, because it can make such a difference to the way you're sewing. If you're having skipped stitches, change your needles. All right, sorry, I got some questions. Am I just using regular cotton thread? Yes, I am just using regular cotton thread. Stitch length, I'm using a 3.5. So you can use more, you can use less if you like. I just think that's a, you know, decent enough length. And now, let me just go down. Yep, we're sewing the inseam. So we're going to clip together our inseam. There we go. Ta-da! Oh, ta-da, we're doing ta-da. Hopefully you didn't all come for my bad jokes. And we're just going to sew this one again. So again, back stitch a bit just to secure that edge. And go as slow as you need to. Like, I'm obviously going pretty quick, but I've been sewing for a long time, so, you know, I'm more confident. If you can't sew this quickly, fine. You'd rather get a project that's right than try to zoom through it and end up having to unpick or getting frustrated and throwing it in the to finish later pile that you never get to, than just taking your time. Like, sewing is supposed to be joyful, and, you know, I just love creating. I love taking a piece of material and creating stuff, whether it takes me, you know, an hour or 10. All right, so that's our inseam. Now, let's have a look. Now we're going to do the waistband. So first I'm going to turn them the right way out and show you what the legs look like. So we're nearly there, we're halfway done. You can give it a bit of a press if you want to. Look how cute they're looking. So now we're going to get our elastic waistband. So I've already pre-cut mine, and we're going to sew it. I think it says about 1 inch. So sew that down to create yourself a round. Right. I just go over mine a few times just to make sure it's really secure. Sorry, I'm just going to get a tissue. Teddy, hop off. Hop off. Sorry, he's trying to, like, fall down. So we've now got our elastic that's in a round. I might just tidy up those. Get down. Hey, get off the pins. No. He's now trying to get to the pins, I swear. Is anyone else's boys just like nuts? So different to girls. The next thing we're going to do is divide the shorts into quarters. So we've already got our side quarters. So now I'm just going to turn them together, line that up, and pop a pin in the back so that I know where that quarter is. Stop, hop down. And then I'll do this one. Okay, so now we've got that, and we're going to do the same to our elastic piece. So we know that's the back, or I'm choosing that to be the back. So put it in half, pop a pin in, and then pop that like that so they're lined up. Pop a pin in. Okay, and now we're going to line them all up. So again, an easy, quick way is that the front dips. So you know that's the front because the back needs to have enough room to go over the curve of your bottom. So I think they say, yeah, to align it on the inside. So we're just going to line up all our points. And I'm going to put clips in here. And take out the pins. Theodore, get down. Get down. Hop off. Off. So I'm just aligning up my sides with the like this. And take all this off. And the next one. Okay, so now you should have something looking like this. You will need to stretch the elastic slightly as you sew it. You don't want to overstretch it, just lightly to sort of what's it called? Fit it. So I'm going to sew from the inside. And am I going to sew from the inside? No, I'm going to sew from the outside. I'm going to sew from the back. Again, I've just still got my zigzag stitch. Same one the whole time. Let's rethread this. And I'm just going to start at the back. And you're sewing along the raw edge. So you want to sew along the top. And I'm starting. So I'll just lightly stretch that to the next point. And sew. You might need to pull it from the back as well. And again. This is a lot easier on a serger, but like I said, it's not, you don't have to do it with a serger. I'm not doing very well with this bit, but I'm also distracted. Get down. For anyone that knows what I'm dealing with, get down. Yeah, thanks. This is so fun. Next time I'll like strap him to the bed or something. Get down. All right, so we'll just do this last bit. Back tuck it. No. So now it should look like this, although that should be a lot more lined up. And what we're going to do now is fold it in, and you're going to sew around it again. Let me just check. Yeah. So this is a good point to put a label in as well. So I'll get one of my labels. So I just have these little labels that I got made through AliExpress. And I just insert them in here so that I'll know where that goes. I might just pop a pin so that I know that's there. And then I will go from the outside again. But what I'm going to do is just again slightly stretch as I'm going. So I'll pop that there. I will take my pin out. And just go over it. Trying to hold it. And then just gently go around. I'm kind of feeling where the edge of the elastic is and trying to sort of get it to the edge of that. Because I don't want there to be too much in there, sort of too much at the top. These smaller sizes are sometimes harder because they're so fiddly. Almost done. You can pin it if you want to be more precise. This one's going to be a bit dodge. Alright. Oh, I think I ran out of bobbin. Right on time. Okay, so this is really dodgy inside. However, it's not really that bit that matters. And again, I was a little bit dodgy up there because I was distracted. But that is your non-footed version done. So that doesn't take very long at all. Obviously, you would be a lot more. Oh my gosh, they look awful. Maybe I won't gift these. Or I'll unpick it and redo it. But yeah, that is the non-footed version. So very, very easy to do. I will do the footed version. I'm just going to take a 2-minute break because I'm going to go and put him in his cot because it's just beyond a joke now. So go and grab yourself a cup of tea. Get yourself ready for the next one, which we're going to be doing the footed version. So 2-minute break. Put any questions you want and I'll answer them when I get back. Come on, darling. It's bedtime now. Yeah, come on. Let's go night, guys. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Alright, I'm back. I don't know how successful I will be, but I'm back. Alright. So, now we are going to sew the footed version, which I'm going to do on my overlocker, which has been decimated over here. So it's going to take me a minute to do this. Let's just make sure we've got everything. It's that one. I think my final thread is this variegated one. He's mixed up my cover stitch and overlocker threads. Joy. Alright, I think we're almost there. Okie dokie. That's that. Just make sure I've got all my settings. Change those as well. Great. How to do the waistband differently. I would have attached the elastic with the serger. So I would have attached it that way because it's, I think, a lot better. And then I wouldn't have been able to top stitch it. You would have to go back to either the sewing machine or the cover stitch. So yeah. Yeah, definitely you should sew some more in there. There's such an easy pattern. Okay, I'm just checking which bit I sew first. So the footed version, place your... So you get your back piece for the footed version and your foot pieces. Yeah, okay. So we get our back piece, lay them right side up, and then we're going to align these. So there's the curved bit, and then there's kind of like curved but flatter bit. So line that up to that so that it's right sides together, and clip. Like so. And we'll do that to the other side. So again, like there's kind of a more rounded point, and then like that's the heel. So you want to put these together like that. And then clippity clip. And now we're just going to sew along here and along here. These ones will come together even quicker than the other ones. So that's that. The other side. Like that. So you should now have pieces like that. Now you're going to get your fronts. Let's double check. So you can top stitch these now if you want. Like you can fold them in and top stitch them. I don't worry, but that's personal choice. And we're going to lay them. I'll do it this way so you can see. Front piece down. And then your back piece, right sides together. And you want to line up the bottoms like that. So we'll clip along here, and it should meet at the top. Ta-da! It does. do that. And we're going to sew all the way around. So we're sewing the inseam as well this time, because they don't need to be hemmed because they're closed in. So keep clipping as we go. I find the footed ones like even quicker, mainly because I can do it all on my serger. Curious, who calls it a serger and who calls it an overlocker? I get used to saying serger because I do video tutorials for American pattern companies as well, and they all say serger. So, whereas I think it's an Australian sort of UK thing to say overlocker, but they are one and the same. Okay, I've clipped all that. Now we're going to sew all the way around, all the way up the inseam, all the way around to the top. Let's sew. So you just want to make sure that you're aligning your raw edges as well, so you're catching it all. So just having a look underneath every now and then is always handy. When you get to this curve, take it as slow as you need to, just to go around that curve. You don't want to really stretch it too much as you sew because that'll make it a bit wiggly. But just go as slow as you need to. Up to the second foot now. Yeah, it looks like most of you say overlocker. I was the same, Shan. When I first started sewing, I was like, what's a serger? Well, when I first started sewing, it was before Facebook. So it wasn't until I started joining some of the Facebook sewing groups and people were saying serger, that I'm like, what's a serger? Good old Google. I was like, oh, it's the same thing. Okay, so now we're almost done. So we turn it right way out. There's our little footed footsies have been created. Pull them out like that little tights, little stockings. Again, this is why I love it in rib knit, because they do have that tights look. And like for little girls, you pop them, even boys, pop them underneath a dress in winter. So cute. Okay, so again, you'll be able to tell which is the front pretty easily because it dips down, because the back has our booty. So now we're going to get our waistband and put it right sides together with the short edges lined up. And we're going to sew along here. You should clip it, but I'm not because I'm a naughty girl. And now we're going to fold it in half. So wrong sides together. And we're going to do the same as what we did on the other ones and quarter it. So fold it in half where the back seam is. Get my pins. This side. And pin it. and then lay it in half to line up those bits and pin it. Where'd the heel seem to fall? I can't remember what I did, Mummy of Four. I think I folded it down. I think. So I've done that, and then again with this we've already got our side seams as our guide. So we line those up, pop a pin in. I would say it's really important to do the quartering. I think I said it in the last video with the neck bands. Like, obviously all rules are meant to be, you know, broken. Well, not all rules, but, you know, there are some rules you can break and some rules you can't. Quartering a neckband in particular, never ever break that rule, ever. Because I think the difference shows when you don't quarter a neckband. With something like this, you could get away with not quartering it because they're quite small and, you know, it's not quite 1-to-1 ratio, but it's not far off. So you could get away with it, but to make something nicer, it's always nicer to do, you know, quartering because you just get more even distribution. Okay. And do this bit. This is the last bit we have to do before they're done. There, and then our side bit. Okay, now I'm going to get my tag again and my scissors. So a good time to attach your tag. I'll write on here my size. So I've just got a fabric marker that's permanent, doesn't come off. Write my size there. Attach it at the back. So this one. Again, important to make sure you line up all 3 raw edges. Once you get it sort of started, you can start to gently stretch it. You don't have to do the yoga waistband. You don't have to do the yoga waistband. You can do the elastic waistband if you wanted. They are interchangeable. Mummy. Yeah, it makes a huge difference, doesn't it? There you go. Lauren from Tadah just said the heel seam gets folded up. Thank you, Lauren. There. That is your footed ones done. How easy was that? I think I did it in like 20 minutes. Again, don't gauge yourself next to me because I am a quick sewer, but still, it's really so easy to put them together. So that's your little tights. This is a size 1. And then we've got our woeful, don't look at the waistband, I'm going to have to redo that. I was trying to save my son from falling off the edge. Our non-footed version. So 2 super, super easy patterns, very easy to do. Yes, you do need to get yourself a serger because they are amazing. Have a look on Marketplace. My recommendation for a beginner Serger, if you can get your hands on one, is the Janome 644D. They are such a workhorse. Like, I've spoken to machine mechanics before, and I'm in the process of saving up to buy myself a baby lock overlocker. And I said, oh, you know, my husband's going to make me sell this one. And both the mechanic and the sales lady, who don't even sell Janome, were like, you'd be stupid to sell it because they're such a good machine. You can pick them up for about $350 secondhand off Marketplace. So, yeah, have a look for the 644D. Otherwise, like I showed, you can do it on the sewing machine as well. But yes, I'll flip it around and talk to you. Hello. If you've got any other questions, feel free to reach out. I'm not sure if I'll be able to come on next week. I was trying to do them weekly, but it is a bit of a challenge at times, as you can see with my son, and my husband's out on a Wednesday night. So, but if you ever have any problems, just reach out to me, or even in the Tadah Pattern Party group. They are amazing there. If you liked my stuff, I'm always really appreciative if people share it. You know, if you share my page with someone or like and comment on my stuff, it's always really appreciated as well. But hopefully you got something out of that. It was really fun to see everybody. I'll let you know what the next pattern will be when I decide. I might even do a bit of a poll. Like, I'll do a poll in my stories and you guys can decide for yourself what you want to do. So yeah, have a good Wednesday. I'm going to go and make a new cup of tea. Make sure my son's asleep. And go to bed. Thanks everyone. Have a good night.